Welcome to the Dork Forest. Jackie and her pals will never bore us. Shameless confessions
about our obsession
will make us laugh and smile. So let's explore the Dork Forest and dork out for a while.
Hey, it's Jackie Cation. Welcome to the Dork Forest. You know the websites, JackieCation.com, DorkForest.com, TheDorkForest.com, FamilyPetAncestry.com. You're probably already there. Let's do the credits. Mike Rickberg composed and sang that song with his wife Sarah that you just heard. He's going to sing his version of the Mexican hat dance at the end of the program. Patrick Brady is going to fix this audio, and Vilmos works on JackieCation.com, the website. There are many ways to support the show. The Amazon link is one. You can use an Amazon link from JackieCation.com or DorkForest.com to go to Amazon. You order like normal, and it supports the show. There is a straight-up donation button, PayPal or Venmo, to this email address that is mine, Jackie@JackieCation.com, where you can just donate to the show if you like the show a lot. I think PayPal has figured out a way to do a monthly. If you want to go monthly, please do. Other ways to support the show if you want to is you can buy merch. There's Dork Forest t-shirts, and all the shirts are union made here in America, so they run a little big. Union Bayside, so if you want to look up their size chart. And then the other merch is my stand-up merch. On JackieCation.com, you can watch me do stand-up, you can look at my schedule, and the stand-up merch, a couple of different t-shirts, couple of different enamel pins, and all my CDs and my DVD. If you want to live stream my DVD, it's over there at comedyfilmnerds.com. They have a live streaming capability, or you can get a hard copy of the DVD on my website. Oh, there are premium episodes at Bandcamp. TheDorkForest.bandcamp.com has probably 10 episodes that were done live. They cost me a couple of bucks to make, so I charge you a couple of bucks. If you've run out of regular episodes, go over to TheDorkForest.bandcamp.com and get some more. Other than that, I say this. Let's get into the show. Hey, it's Jackie Cation, and you're having trouble already? Technical trouble? Andrew Solmssen? Why wouldn't you? How about now? Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Can you hear it?
There.
Fiddle and...
I'm going to get you a new one of those.
Okay, please get me a new one of those. Hey, Rangers, guess who's on the show? It's Andrew Solmssen.
That's me.
You've been on.
I've been on.
Let's do it again. But now it's a brave new world. It's been a couple of years.
It's been a few years, yeah.
It might be 3.
Yeah, we've talked about virtualization.
Right.
Computer virtualization.
And then I think networking was the first one.
Well, that was computer virtualization and networking. And then
I thought the first one was... Okay, what was the second one?
The second one was TiVo.
No, Wow. You guys, go back into the archives and look up Andrew Solmssen. It's Solmssen, which is what it is on Twitter, and Facebook it's just at Solmssen.
Right.
And at Andrew Solmssen on the Instagram.
Because I have a cousin.
A beautiful, beautiful lot of shots of you hiking on foot around this great city.
Yeah, I hike a lot.
That's it. That's what we're doing. We're dorking out about hiking.
Hiking, and I think we'll do a sub-dork about Bluetooth headsets if you want.
Because you use a Bluetooth headset as you hike?
I do, and I just got a new one that I'm all excited about.
Well, let's hear it. First of all, it's funny that there's hiking because I think the episode right before you is my brother. No, a couple episodes before you, my brother talking about hitchhiking.
Oh yeah, okay.
Have you ever hitchhiked offhand? Because it has the word hiking in it. I
have hitchhiked in my teens and 20s a couple or 3 times, and I've picked up hitchhikers a couple of times, which I will never do again.
Right. Well, that is that for 6 years, my brother Phil hitchhiked around this great nation, Minneapolis to Los Angeles and San Francisco every year, and then over to New Orleans and then back up.
Wow.
From when he was like 19 or 20. When he got out of the Moonies, to when he was about 26. And now he just drives. He drives like a maniac. Anyway, so hiking, literally, you can get over the hill sometimes faster than traffic here in Los Angeles.
I walk, my current sort of daily walk is I leave my home near Crescent Heights in Santa Monica in West Hollywood.
What time?
Usually 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
Okay, so you go in the late afternoon because of the weather?
I like to time it so that I'm at the top at sunset.
Okay, yeah, and it's cooler, it's more beautiful.
Yeah.
Not that it's not pretty during the day.
It's also the end of my work day.
And, right.
Yeah, I do my work mainly from home. I am an IT consultant.
It's true.
And I'm doing IT as we speak.
Right, things are happening right over in that corner at my computer. But wait, I want to back up because... what happened is talk to me about why and how this all began.
Well-
because you literally 3 years ago you had two topics. We've talked about this: stand-up comedy and IT. Now you have two topics. It's IT and hiking.
Well-
and so we are going to talk about hiking, by God.
Yeah. Well, I've been through a lot of changes.
Yeah.
I, in 2008, was 525 pounds.
Right.
And in 2013, I was 480 pounds and very, very sick.
Right.
I was in and out of the hospital for 3 years.
Yeah, you were.
I have 18 or 19 hospital bracelets on my refrigerator to remind me.
And I only visited you, 4 times? That seems rude.
Well, I was
Anyway,
in and out sometimes.
It was hard. Yeah.
But no, Jackie came more than anybody, actually, and is a delight and a wonder, even in a hospital setting.
There you go. It's
And I was very pleased to see her. But yeah, so I was in and out of the hospital. By the middle of 2015, I was down to about 340
okay.
and full of hubris.
Oh, you were pretty psyched about it?
Yeah, but also, I've lost, a couple hundred pounds. I can see
Right.
200 from here. I know how to do this. Let's make it work.
Right.
And then I gained 60 pounds back.
Oh, back up to 400.
Yeah. And no,
hard.
that's the middle. Yeah, from the middle of 2014 to the end of 2015. Mm-hmm. And at the, got scared, got terrified, and realized that I needed to make a change in my life. And I had sleeve gastrectomy surgery. My stomach is very small.
They were talking about doing that for years, but they
Yeah.
said you had to lose the weight to do it, right?
But I had lost the weight at that point, and I was still resistant. Because,
Oh, you didn't want to do it?
Yeah.
Because you were like, I'm at 340.
I thought I
can
could
just
do-
do this
yeah.
myself. Yeah.
And there's a whole bunch of stuff tied up in having weight loss surgery. People think it's cheating in some way, or that you are not taking care of what really is bothering
There's
you.
some real assholes in the world
Yeah,
who
you'd
will
be
judge
surprised.
you. I will not be surprised, but I will tell you, because I think it's just because of how many people are on the planet now. We get to run into more of them.
Let me tell you my favorite thing, my favorite asshole thing these days.
Oh, these days?
Yeah, these days.
Currently?
Yeah. Which
Okay.
is when you tell somebody you've lost over 300 pounds and they say, and what's your goal?
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
That is. Have you heard Emily Heller's bit about going to work out? She had a workout.
Oh, yeah. I think I have.
And the guy was like, "What's your goal?" And she was like, "Well, I want to be healthier. I want to be." And he's like, "No. What's your goal?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "I don't consider myself. I'm
Yeah.
fine."
Yeah.
Anyway,
she's
so
happy
that's
at the
bananas.
weight she's at. Yeah. And, I'm 220 now and 5'8", and I could definitely lose 30 or 40 pounds, as Andy Dick told me the other day. And
You know why his name's Andy Dick?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I said to Andy the other day at the Improv, I was like, "Hey, Andy, it's Andrew. You may not recognize me. I've lost 300 pounds since the last time we see each other."
Right.
And he looks me up and down and he says, "You could lose 30 more."
What a fucking piece of shit.
But it got a laugh. It got a
was he?
laugh.
Where was he?
It was at the Improv around.
Just at the bar?
Yeah. No, it was in the back of the showroom. It was actually
right.
a show called Everybody Has an Andy Dick Story.
Everybody does have an Andy Dick story.
I have two. Now. But
he doesn't. It's. Speaking of hubris.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I had the surgery.
So you had that surgery in 2015.
In the very, very close to the end of 2015,
Okay.
December 29th, 2015, they took out 85% of my stomach.
Right.
And it fixed...
Did they take some of the weight out too, or did
No.
they? Okay.
There was a lot of stuff that had happened before then. I'd lost a lot of weight. And I had a surgery in 2014 where they cut about 40 pounds of tissue off my midsection
Okay.
that needed to go. But then I gained a lot of weight back
Right.
from that. That was when I was 340, was after that surgery.
Okay.
And then
You got the sleeve.
I got this vertical sleeve gastrectomy. There are 4 basic bariatric surgeries. There's the lap band, which doesn't work.
Okay.
There's sleeve gastrectomy, which I had.
Does the lap band not work for anyone?
It may work for some people, but my feeling about it is, A, if you don't need to lose a lot of weight, it works for you.
Okay.
But why then have a surgery? Do you know what I mean? Like, if you don't need to lose 60 pounds
Right.
or 100 pounds, that's something you can do. And
but if you can't, you can't. So
Yeah.
it's just not for you. Let's just say that. Yeah.
But my feeling about the lap band is that for the people who have to lose a lot of weight, it has to stay in for a long time, and that creates.
Are the lap band's removable or something?
Yeah, it is removable, and it's adjustable. There's a port under your arm where they put saline to make the band smaller or larger depending on your needs.
Oh, weird.
And
I've only seen the ads.
But the band wraps around the stomach and creates a restriction, basically. And
which makes it just uncomfortable to eat, essentially.
Yeah, and if you leave the band in for a long time, which people do, if they have a lot of weight to lose, it creates scar tissue that ends up permanently creating that restriction in a way that's not good for people. And
it's not as safe as the actual surgery.
Yeah, UCLA, for example, won't do the lap band anymore.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that they ever did, but they won't do the lap band, which is where I had my surgery, is UCLA.
Yeah. There's so much surgery there's so many things that you're like, well, this is a great idea. And then you're like, we don't even know what the side effects are eventually.
And so then I had the vertical sleeve gastrectomy, which is where they just physically remove most of the stomach and close it up again. It looks like a tube now instead of the sort of kidney bean kind of shape that you know.
Right.
And I can eat just a lot less than I used to.
Right.
But it's better for me, I think, than the other sort of well-used surgery, which is the traditional...
You mentioned two. What are the other two?
The other two are the traditional gastric bypass, sometimes called a Roux-en-Y.
Okay.
And in that surgery, they actually sort of reroute your plumbing a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Right? They leave the stomach in place, but they separate it into two pieces, and one piece becomes a kind of a blind alley.
Okay.
All right. And then your intestine is hooked up to what's left of your stomach at the top. And what's different about that surgery and the gastric sleeve is that in the sleeve, the lower sphincter of the stomach is left intact. They don't anastomose the intestine to the stomach pouch. And that means that I can eat and drink pretty much whatever I want.
That's what that would be?
Yeah.
Where you can eat and drink whatever you want. It just goes straight out.
Well, it's just that in the gastric bypass, that border where they anastomose the intestine to the stomach is a very sensitive...
That's the sleeve or the one you're talking about?
The gastric bypass.
The gastric bypass just bypasses
a lot of the stomach.
Yeah.
A lot of the stomach.
Got it.
And but that border where the intestine is sewed to what's left of the stomach is very sensitive, and you can't do things like take NSAIDs or eat spicy foods or things like
What's
that.
What's an NSAID?
Like ibuprofen or...
some medicines?
Some medicines that upset the stomach.
Okay.
And people who have the full gastric bypass often have what's called dumping syndrome, where if they eat something that's very rich, they just lose it very quickly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
exciting.
Yeah. So the gastric
that's some
bypass,
exciting eating.
And so,
so that's three. What's the other one?
It's something called the duodenal switch, which is very rarely done now.
Okay.
Famously, Big Boy, the DJ here in LA, had one, and he suffered from it quite a bit. And it's a more aggressive bypassing of more of the intestine.
Okay.
So you have a lot of absorption issues. You can't get enough vitamins and stuff from your food.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Wow. This is such a big money maker thing that I'm sure.
Yeah. But here's the thing. VSG helped me a lot, and I was always hungry. I was never unhungry. I was never full or satisfied until I was full to the point of pain. That's
gone?
That's gone.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I still have the sort of cultural and emotional attachments to food that anybody who was heavy does, but the physical need for it has changed dramatically.
That's great.
And so I had this surgery at the end of 2015. I got home from the hospital a couple of days into 2016. And I was like, I've done this thing that's changed my life. I will never eat the same way again.
Right.
And it was a big, it worried me as someone who ate all the time and who found solace in eating. One of the reasons I put off the surgery for as long as I did was because I was afraid of giving up that tool to manage my mood, to manage my life. And so I finally said, it was killing me and I had to do something.
Right.
And so I had the surgery and I got home and I was like, well, I've made this huge change and none of it matters unless I do the rest of it.
Right.
And so I started walking. I built these 10-minute playlists just to get me out the door.
Just music or?
Just music, yeah. And
Okay.
I just said, if I can walk through this playlist,
Okay.
I'll
just
do it.
10 minutes of music.
Just 10 minutes of music.
Nice.
And then I made the playlist 18 minutes. And then I made the playlist 30 minutes.
How long did you do the 10-minute playlist?
For a couple months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you would just essentially, you're like, I'm putting my headphones in.
Yeah.
I'm heading out the door for 10 minutes.
Right.
Whatever happens.
Yeah.
And then I can come back.
Right, exactly.
Was it there and back 10 minutes?
Just
was
around
it,
the block.
It was just around the block. That would be about 10 minutes and
Yeah.
then you'd be home.
Yeah.
And that was, so you did that for a couple of months.
Yeah, and then I started 18 walking.
minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then I started walking to Runyon Canyon,
Okay.
right?
And how far is that walk? Or how long is that walk?
That's
from
about
you?
2 miles.
Okay.
And
So you just walk there and then sort of walk home.
yeah, I was kind of done at that
Yeah.
point. The idea was that I would get to the point where I could get up the canyon as
Yeah.
soon as I could. And
Right.
then they closed Runyon Canyon, and I found another place called Nichols Canyon. It's sometimes called the Trebek Open Space.
It's another canyon.
Yeah, it's a little
Los
further,
Angeles full of canyons.
Yeah, it's a little west of Runyon, and
Okay.
it's land that was donated to the city by Alex Trebek of Jeopardy fame. He gave 60 acres of land, I think, above his house to the city, and I think as much because he didn't want anybody building a house above him as
Sure.
anybody else.
Yeah, that's why you do it.
But Nichols is a great sort of starter hill
Okay.
because it's 1.5 miles round trip from the top to the bottom.
Right.
And I would just do it. I put these giant headphones on, and I hiked in sneakers for the first year.
Okay.
And I did Nichols Canyon for the 4 months that Runyon was closed,
Okay.
and just got better at it.
And so that's 2 miles to Nichols Canyon, or
No, I would drive to Nichols Canyon.
Okay.
Another nice thing about Nichols Canyon, and maybe not after I publicize it, is that there's parking.
right? Most people don't live here.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it. It's
There's a little dirt lot where you can park and just go right into the canyon.
Okay.
And it's quiet. It's quiet and beautiful and not well traveled.
Okay.
And
just it's an easier hike.
it's a little easier than Runyon in mostly. It's just a straight sort of up.
Okay.
It's not steep or rocky, and
Okay.
it's just a sort of
And
a
it's
fire.
paved, or?
No, it's a fire road. It's like a trail.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's and so it has a midpoint, and I would just sort of expand as I got better and better. I would go up and then down, or then I would go up and then down to the midpoint and back up again. Or
Okay.
sometimes I would do 2 loops.
Okay. Because how long is it to the top?
It's about 3/4 of a mile from the bottom to the top.
Okay.
Yeah.
So doable.
Yeah.
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 And pretty.
And very beautiful, very beautiful. And you can approach it from the other side too. There's an entrance on Solar. That's the top.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just got used to doing it every day.
Right.
I was doing it. I started
7 days a week.
I started doing it 3 days a week, and then 4 days a week, and then 5 days a week, and then I just got to the point where I made it the most important thing in my life every day. And I
Right.
pushed back from my desk, and I got out the door, and there was a few things that really helped me a lot. One was I started wearing toe socks.
Which are those socks that separate your toes?
Yeah, they're very thin toe socks that I wear under my regular socks, and I just
Okay.
don't get blisters anymore.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
it separates your feet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's
So you wear two layers.
yeah,
Regular sock too.
3 actually, if you count the compression stockings. I have to wear some.
Oh, okay. Which go over your feet as well, or just
Yeah,
down to the ankle?
No, they go. The ones I wear are what they call open toe. They go all the way almost to the toe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
And I wear beige granny stockings, and
Compression. If you got to wear them, you got to wear them.
and they work. They really help me.
Yeah.
And the hikes got easier.
Yeah.
And then when Runyon reopened, I started going back there, and then I would drive there and do the walk in the park, and
Right.
then
How long is that hike? The Runyon Canyon.
the loop that again,
Are there several loops?
there's several there's 3 ways up Runyon Canyon.
Okay.
All right. There's 3 gates, and there's 3 ways. So from the bottom in Hollywood, the there are two gates. The gate everybody really knows is the Fuller Gate.
Okay.
That's at the top of Fuller, just north of Hollywood Boulevard.
Okay.
And then there's another gate on Vista, also a little bit west and just north of Hollywood Boulevard.
Okay.
And the Vista Gate sort of puts you at the Fire Road, and you can go on the Fire Road all the way up to the Mulholland Gate. Mm-hmm. The Fuller Gate puts you on the East Trail, and you can either cut over to the Fire Road from there, or you can go straight up the East Trail, and that takes you up the East Ridge, and then you get reconnected with the Fire Road about halfway up.
Okay.
And that's where there's some very steep steps.
Okay.
And so the first time...
What were those steps by your old apartment?
Oh, those are the Santa Monica. There's hidden staircases all over L.A.
Right.
Yeah, so when I go over the hill, like, for example, like when I hike from my house to the valley, which I do frequently.
Right. Which is, it's nuts to me, but it's awesome.
There's two really nice little staircases that I do. There's one that's on Adena, and then there's one that's off Oakcrest that take you up to Mulholland, essentially, so that you can get into the park again.
Okay.
Yeah. The other gate at Runyon is on Mulholland.
Is it Runyon Park?
It's Runyon Canyon Park. It's run by the Los Angeles Parks
So Runyon Canyon Park.
Department.
It's not part of Griffith or anything.
No, it's not. It's
There's a lot of parks here.
Yeah, Griffith is big, and then there's the Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy group that runs, like, for example, Nichols Canyon.
Okay.
Runyon Canyon is a city park.
Okay.
Yeah.
And its own thing.
I will say, I'll do a pitch for, there's a wonderful book by a great guy called Casey Schreiner.
Yeah.
He's a comedy person. He wrote on the G4 Attack of the Show, and he also wrote on Guy Branum's
TV show.
The talk show, The Game Show. And was the lead judge on that show on television.
And what's his name again?
His name is Casey Schreiner.
Thank you.
And he runs a website called Modern Hiker, which was an invaluable resource for me.
Okay.
modernhiker.com. And he's written a book recently called Day Hiking Los Angeles or Day Hiking LA. And
nice.
And it's also and he's so good. He does these things like, here is a picture of the front of the hike. Here is where you park. Here is the turn you have to make halfway in.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like, he does a great job of really mapping out the hikes.
Yeah,
and
literally. That sounds like a really good
I found some
idea.
other tools very useful. One was called alltrails.com, which is an app for the phone that has
that has trails.
that has all the trails on it and trail maps and everything.
And is it nationwide or is it just LA?
It's everywhere. I used it in Australia and New Zealand.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And but I love Modern Hiker. I think it's a great site.
Right,
especially for LA people, it's amazing. But it's all over.
So you were wearing sneakers doing this thing.
Yeah, about a year in.
You were like, I would like toys. Because you were a guy who would like a toy.
So I didn't really think about it. And then somebody said to me, get good shoes. It'll help.
Oh, there you go.
And it did. It helped so much.
Right, I'm sure.
That I literally now, from my ignorance, am forced to speak to people I see on the trail.
Like someone did for you.
Exactly.
Well done.
And then say to them as they slide down the hill in their sneakers and flip-flops, get good shoes. You'll have more fun.
Yeah.
And so I wear Merrell Moab. I guess they're the Moab 2 now. Mother of all boots.
Mother
Moab.
of all boots.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're hiking boots.
They're boots, and they're.
But Merrells are light.
Yeah, they're basically an athletic shoe with a very aggressive sole.
Okay.
All right. They've got a good Vibram trail sole, and it just changes the hike. You can dance up and down the hill. You know, you're not worried about your footing the same way.
There you go.
And they make a mid-rise. I mean, they make a mid-rise boot, which is what I wear. And then, I like the boot because the point of
is that a little bit over the ankle, the mid-rise?
Yes, exactly.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of a culotte.
Fair enough.
And what the boot part does is it keeps your foot from sliding forward in the shoe when you're going downhill.
Okay.
So you don't jam your toes.
Because it's super steep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the whole point of the boot. And,
okay.
But they do make a normal athletic shoe type
level.
Like
if you just want an ankle.
Open ankle. Yeah. And they make them for men and women, and they make them in ventilator, waterproof, and Gore-Tex.
Okay.
The ventilators are what I normally wear, because it's hot
here.
Yeah. And I have the Gore-Tex ones for when it rains because I hike rain or shine.
Right. You hike every day. It doesn't matter. And it doesn't rain that much here, but it rains.
Yeah.
And it's dumb.
But
But you can hike every day in Los Angeles. That's the great thing.
Yeah,
Though some days it is 110 degrees, so.
And that's where a number of other things have been very helpful for me.
Right. What other equipment are you using?
I wear a pack that I bought off Amazon that I like very much. It's unfortunately a tactical pack.
That's right, because it looks like an army guy.
Yeah, and so I get a feeling from people that they think I'm one of those guys that likes the Punisher a little too much, and might have a Punisher decal on my car somewhere.
Right, but you put hippie decals on your.
I have. Well, I have.
Don't you have a fuck Trump?
I had a dump Trump one.
Oh, dump
that
Trump.
I had made.
I wanted it to be fuck Trump.
No,
look at me. All right,
dump Trump. Hashtag impeach. Hashtag resist.
Okay.
But I took that off because people were seeing the Trump thing and seeing the backpack and thinking I was a Trumpy. And
fuck. Pardon my language. Don't pardon it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
The patch I have now, I also had made, and it says, "One must imagine Sisyphus happy." Which is...
You can have a patch made.
Yeah, on Amazon. There's a guy named Lan Stang who sews them in Thailand, and for $8, and it comes in a little envelope after a month or so.
You know, when you do the bases, the troops, everybody has those kinds of
they're
backpacks,
called
but with their
patches.
names.
Yeah.
And but they have their names on them.
Yeah.
And I know I went once and we were all like, "Hey, can we get our names done?" And they're like, "No, you gotta pay for that on Amazon."
Yeah.
And
but the patches are easy to get, and I have one that says Dump Trump, and I have one that says One Must Imagine Sisyphus Happy, and then I have one that says BitBoy Enterprises, which is the name of
your company.
Yeah.
BitBoy Enterprises. I'm here with Andrew Solmssen, you guys. It's at Solmssen on Twitter and Facebook, and at Andrew Solmssen on Instagram. I've been looking at your photos. They're so gorgeous.
Well,
you know,
I see such amazing stuff up there.
Right. There's just animals, and there's sunsets, and there's flowers. It's awesome.
The thing that's making me just amazed right now is, so up on Runyon, there are a few of these century agave plants, right? They're big agaves that they're maybe 6 feet across, and they grow for 15 or 20 years, and then one spring, they decide it's time, and they grow a giant spear that looks like an asparagus.
Right.
They're in the same family as asparagus.
Right.
And
we have a couple in our neighborhood.
Yeah. And they're crazy looking. And
they're in the yucca.
It's yucca and agave. Both are family asparagus.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous, and it grows fast.
Right.
Like, it grows...
from day to day, you're like, what the hell's happening?
I put a thing up on Instagram, and I'm going to do it again. I've been taking a picture of the same one every day for 3 months.
Building a flip book of...
you can see it grows several inches a day.
Yeah.
And... so now they're in flower.
Right.
And so they've spread little branches out from the top, and they're beautiful flowers on them, and it is Hummingbird Grand Central.
Right.
There's a copse of about 4 of these plants, and there's 20 or 30 hummingbirds around them at any given time. Mm-hmm. And then I was at one yesterday where there was a hummingbird who was sort of standing guard over his tree, and anytime somebody came anywhere near it, he would chase it off. And it was so funny to see them chittering at each other. And you see I've seen amazing sunsets. I've seen snakes. I see a snake every now and again.
Right.
I see tarantulas. I see tarantula hawks, which are a beautiful and kind of scary insect.
Oh, it's not a bird?
It's not a bird. It's a wasp that's about the size of your thumb.
Okay.
And it's gloss black like a patent leather shoe.
Right.
And it has bright scarlet or orange wings.
Holy hell.
And
why is it called a tarantula hawk?
It is parasitic. It finds a tarantula, stings it to paralyze it, and lays an egg, and that's what the paralyzed tarantula is what the larva eats as it comes out.
That has inspired a look on my face that means I hope I never meet it. I'm sure it's a very beautiful thing.
But the first time I saw one, I was like, what's this weird bug? And I got right up close to it, and I took pictures, and then I read about it online, and there's a guy, he's an entomologist who sort of has decided to let all these things sting him in the interest of science. And one of these things stung him, and he said it's the second worst sting he's ever had.
The second worst.
Yeah.
And it's called a tarantula what?
Tarantula hawk.
Hawk.
Yeah, it's a beautiful insect. It's
Sure.
amazing. But I see those once in a while, and I see tarantulas once in a while. I see black widows once in a while.
You want to go in our backyard to see some black widows.
Yeah.
We got a lot of them.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Yeah.
Because all spiders, here's the thing with spiders. I don't like them. I used to hate them. I used to be terrified of them. And then I had an interesting, weird, lucid dream one time where I made a deal with spiders in a loop dream, as I called them. But then somebody told me they were actually called lucid dreams. It was a dream that would just loop over and over again where spiders would fall from the ceiling.
Oh, wow.
It was a recurring nightmare that I had. I did not enjoy it. I used to room with Jennifer McLean, you remember?
Yeah.
And she said that I would occasionally wake up yelling, "Spider!" And because we lived in a giant bunk bed. Remember that?
Yeah. I remember.
That studio we lived in. And so I think I was in my own apartment after she gave me the OXO set. And I got my own apartment across from Karen Rontowski. And one night I was having a dream where they were about to, and I could tell that they were about to fall from the ceiling. And I was like, "You guys, you have to stop this." And they were like, "No, this is what we do." And I was like, "Here's the deal. Fall on either side of the bed." And so now I have a dream where they fall on either side of the bed. And I'm like, "You get to live if you fall on either side." Because I would also, it was this whole thing about killing the spiders too,
Yeah.
where I'm like, if you fall on either side of the bed, you can live. And so the deal, when I woke up, it was a weird story. But when I woke up, the deal is if they are outside, I would let them live. If they are inside, if someone is willing to carry them outside, not me, they can continue to live. If they are inside, they are probably dead. But here's the exception: black widows, all dead. I can't do it. Not in the backyard. Sometimes there's babies.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's babies and old people in my house, and I don't want to get bit.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, it seems a reasonable compromise.
It was the contract that was made one evening over there on Fulton and Victory.
Yeah.
Anyway, go.
So, but I'm just, it's the best part of every day, and people ask me.
Like emotionally, it does everything for you.
It's very important. I spend the first hour kind of just processing what's going on, and
you're listening on these new Bluetooth?
Well, I have become quite a connoisseur of Bluetooth headsets.
Okay.
I started out hiking with giant wired over-the-ear cans like we're wearing now.
Right, that you plugged into something.
Yeah, plugged into my phone. And as a technologist, I was annoyed by the wires. And so I started investigating Bluetooth headsets. And so I started with the Jaybird X2s, which are wired to each other, but not to the phone.
Okay.
Right? They wrap around your neck,
Are they like like a Torque? Like mine? The ones where...
No, they don't have the thing that rests on your shoulders.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just the battery is in the headset itself, in the earbuds, and the wire connects them.
Oh, I see.
And,
I've seen those.
Yeah. And the Jaybirds were great. And the one thing I discovered was that you can buy foam tips for them that may improve the sound quality immensely.
Oh, really? Sort of like this type of thing?
Yeah, it's a closed cell foam that improves isolation from the outside world and,
nice.
and improves the bass, because the headphones get better bass if they can be sealed into your ear a little bit.
Okay.
And so I started buying these Comply wireless foam tips, or Comply foam tips for headsets. And so that was very useful, and I progressed up. The Jaybirds were great, and then...
How much were they? Were they just like $30 or something? Or?
Like $100 or something.
Okay,
like that.
so
and
really nice ones.
Yeah, and then the set of headphones that I got that ended up being sort of the primary walking headset for a long time was the Bragi Dash Pros.
How do you spell Bragi?
Bragi. They're not made anymore, as far as I can tell. The company has gotten out of the business, but they are the Italian sports car of headsets.
Yeah.
You always have to have a backup pair with you.
Oh, because they break?
They're flaky and buggy, but they do things that none of the others do. They have a motion-based interface. They have an accelerometer in them, and so if I want to pause the music, I just have to nod my head a certain way.
Oh, weird.
And they have an excellent transparency mode. So I can tap or pause the music, and and I can hear what's outside. It pauses the music and immediately turns on the microphones in the headset so that I can hear what's going on. It's almost like having bionic hearing.
Oh, that's awesome.
And no other
fun.
manufacturer has done that interface issue. It's the thing you do the most with the headset is stop it so you can hear what somebody's saying.
Yeah.
And nobody else has done it as well as the Broggies.
Okay.
Every other manufacturer that I've run into, instead of pausing the music, they mute it.
Oh, weird.
So, which means that if you're listening to a podcast or something,
Oh,
like
it
that,
keeps going.
Yeah, you got to find your place.
Okay.
Yeah, and or you have to remember to pause it before you do the step that actually lets you hear people.
These LGs that I have are actually they're great,
Yeah.
but it's finger. It's obviously.
Yeah. And then the other nice thing about the Broggies is that the control interface is an optical sensor as opposed to a button that you have to push, so you're not pushing something that's in your ear.
Right.
And you just tap it lightly, and it's enough. And,
Okay.
And then the motion interface, like the first time you do it, the first time you nod your head and pause the music or activate the assistant.
That is a fun thing for Andrew Solmssen.
You feel like you're in the future, right? And then the second time that you nod your head and nothing happens, you
What's
feel like an
happened?
idiot. Yeah.
What's happened?
And then there is this thing of you're nodding your head when you see someone coming.
Right.
And you know you're going to need to talk to them. So the first thing you do is nod your head in a kind of an odd way, like you're shifting your gears.
Right, like you're shaking the phone to...
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And so why is this person nodding at me? And then the charger is big and kind of cumbersome, and the way that the headsets sit in them is annoying. And there's a million reasons why they're not great.
Right.
But they're also amazing.
That is my Bluetooth speaker that's decided to turn itself off loudly. That only we can hear, by the way.
Okay, all right.
But it's weird. Maybe it knew that we were talking about Bluetooth.
Yeah. So the headset I just got, just came out a week ago.
Okay.
Is the Sony WF-1000 MX3.
All right.
Which
what
is a
is
name only Sony could love.
Okay.
And it is the first in-ear, truly wireless Bluetooth earbuds with active noise canceling.
Okay.
So if you've used a noise canceling headset like the Bose Quiet Comfort or even the Sony has an over-ear headset that does noise canceling. It hears what's happening outside and constructs the exact opposite.
Oh, it creates waves?
It creates the exact opposite. It does analysis of what's happening outside and adds that to the music, so that you literally it's like you're in a room alone with the music.
Right.
I was standing next to an air conditioner and I couldn't hear it.
Oh, that's great.
And it makes the traffic noise a lot less. I tend to walk down busy streets when I'm getting to and from Runyon, especially late at night. I don't want to walk in the neighborhoods where it's quiet because I'm worried about getting hit over the head. So
right, and it's weird. You don't feel like, because you know how they say you shouldn't wear headphones when you jog or bike and stuff.
I have awareness of my surroundings. I have the ambient sound turned on if I need it.
Okay.
And on a busy street, I'm a little less worried.
Okay.
And I'm also a dude wearing a tactical backpack.
Right, so maybe that will alert people.
Yeah.
That you might have a shiv.
Or
So what? So that's what your current, and you've only had that for a week.
Yeah, and that's getting close to the holy grail of only carrying one headset.
Okay.
Up to this point, I've been carrying 3.
Backup. Oh, backup.
Yeah, because the AirPods are so great for talking to people.
Okay.
The AirPods are the best phone headset I've ever used, and I have to talk to people a lot.
Yeah.
And
I swear to God, I'm going to go grab it.
Okay, it's okay.
Tell the tale.
Okay. So I carry the Broggies, and the Broggies don't have wonderful battery life, so I carry a set of Jabra Elite 65Ts, and then I carry the AirPods to talk to people. And it's a lot. I don't know why I have to carry so many headsets, but it's the cruel joke is that I know how good each of them is at the thing that they do, and so I have to choose.
Here's the thing about these headsets
and
this setup is that it literally is set up so that I don't get a lot of, because I'm on an air traffic kind of thing, right?
Oh, yeah. You're under the flight path for Burbank. Yeah.
Right. So let us continue.
Yeah. The other thing that I carry in the tactical backpack that's very useful is a Platypus hydration bag.
Oh, water.
Yeah. I carry a Platypus 3-liter water bag that I put ice water in.
Yeah.
Which keeps all my snacks cold.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. So it's a thing.
Yeah, and
So it is both water and
refrigeration.
and refrigeration.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, it has I bought a neoprene cover for it.
Okay.
And then I wrote the guy who makes the neoprene cover, and I asked him if he had one that was a little bigger because I wanted to put more snacks in it, and he said no, people mostly want them tight so that it keeps the water cold. And I'm like, but where do they put their cheese?
Where's their cheese?
And
that's hilarious.
And so he made a special one for me that's a little bit bigger.
Did he?
Yeah, same price, and he just made it for me. So now I have one that I have room for cheese and crackers.
The internet is somehow glorious sometimes.
It's pretty wonderful.
It's pretty wonderful. You can ask people stuff and they'll answer it.
I believe if his website is like hydration bag covers or something like that. But
and he makes
these neoprene
himself.
Yeah, he makes these neoprene covers for all the various like Camelback and Platypus and Osprey bags and everything. I like the Platypus bag a lot because it's easier to keep clean than the Camels.
Okay.
And the Camelbacks, and it opens from the top like a big Ziploc bag.
Okay.
It has a very sturdy Ziploc closure.
That you put water in?
Yeah.
But it's a super sturdy Ziploc.
And it has
better be.
It has a little thing that zips across it that holds it closed too.
Oh, right. Like a full-on zip.
Yeah.
That's good.
And I made a dryer for it. I built a little gizmo that I want to take on Shark Tank or something like that. It's a tube that fits into the bag.
Right.
Like a 2-inch diameter tube that I bought, and then I have it's on a little table so that it has airflow under the bottom of the tube.
Okay.
And I put a little USB fan in it.
Okay.
So I just plop the bag over the tube, and it's dry in about 20 minutes.
Welcome to the Dork Forest, Andrew Solmssen. It is this. It's so funny about the Dork Forest. Sometimes I wonder. I've had people go, "Well, I could do another one," and I was like, "No, you could start your own Dork Forest, and please do." It's sort of like Joseph Scrimshaw has Obsessed.
Yeah.
And I mean, everyone there's a Dork Forest in all of us.
But I'm an optimizer at heart. I am.
Yes.
I'm somebody who is always looking for the best way to do things.
Yep.
And so. Hiking is the thing I do the most now. I hike 4, 5, 6 hours a day. So.
Right. And so and yeah, let's get. I was going to show you. What do you think? What do you think of my headset?
Well,
I do love these. This is probably my 4th or 5th set though, because they tend to break.
And I've always been a little surprised that you use them because they're so much bigger and bulkier, and put the weight in a place where I don't want it on my neck.
Around your neck.
Yeah.
This is an LG something.
Yeah.
It's
I'm a big fan. If you're looking for an inexpensive, really good Bluetooth headset,
JBL.
yeah, that I like a lot is the Anker Soundbuds Slim Plus, I think they're called.
Yeah.
They're about $25 on Amazon, and they sound so much better than they cost. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, and especially if you put good tips on them. If you spend $15 on a set of foam tips,
Yeah.
then they sound as good as anything you can get for 2 or 3 times as much.
And how do they sit on your?
They're a wired headset like the X2s. They're 2 earbuds that go in your ear that are connected by a thin wire.
Okay, that go over the back of your neck.
Go around the back of your neck, or you
Yeah.
can actually. I used a little when I was using that style headset.
Mm-hmm.
They come with a little clip, and I would clip it to the back of my hat.
Okay.
And
I used to like those ones that went over your ears and then sat inside.
yeah, like the Beats
Are they like
Pro.
that, or
Yeah.
they just
no,
like
no,
this?
they're just in the ear.
They're just in the ear.
Yeah.
Okay.
And but they have a nice feature, which is they have a magnetic connection on the back of each earbud, and so when you take them out, they
sit.
they close up. They sit like a
nice.
necklace around your neck.
Okay.
And the opening and closing the magnet turns them on and off.
Oh, that is great.
Yeah.
For $22.
Yeah.
Yeah, these two things about headphones. One, I fly so much that Brian Regan and the guy from Live Nation.
For someone who flies, I would recommend, like, as much as you do,
Right.
get yourself a set of active noise canceling over ear,
Like the Bose ones or something.
The Bose or the Sony the Sony over ear version of the one I just got.
But they're big and clunky. Like what I like about this is that it reminds me of a Torque from a Cage Baker book.
Okay.
Anyway, so but the
that was a reference I didn't get before.
Right, because you didn't read the Cage Baker novels, but these are retractable.
Yeah.
So I like it, and I like what they're doing with I can organize what I'm doing. Like this will pause the music.
Yeah.
And this will advance the track.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, this will make the phone
Well, they're
call.
larger, so they have room for more interface. They have room for more buttons that do things. The Sonys
and it
have
holds a pretty good charge.
Yeah, 'cause, again, it's bigger and it weighs a little more. It can have a bigger battery.
Right. So these have actually been really good for me, but I have been told by other comics that what I want is the over-the-ear ones because they stop people from talking to you.
Yeah, there's that.
I have had people not know that I'm on the phone or not know that I'm listening to something because they're in ear.
Yeah.
And
I would say that one nice thing about the Sony over-ear noise canceling headset is that it has a gesture you can do, which is you put your hand up to the left ear cup.
That does sound fun.
And you hold it like that, and when you do that, it turns on transparency so that you can hear the outside world and turns off the music.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. But again, it mutes, not pauses. Which is the one thing the Broggies get really right. And
yeah, that is weird.
Yeah.
It's
it's so annoying that it makes me think somebody must have a patent.
on
the pausing the music.
Yeah.
It's like because for the same reason that you can't. One thing that, for example, the BlackBerry did better than anything else for email,
right,
was when you were filing something in a folder.
Yeah.
You could type the name of the folder really quick.
Yeah.
And it would find that folder for you fast, unlike the iPhone where you have to scan through every 200 folders that you have.
The Gmail will let me do that, but only under only in the desktop version.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's a little different because of the way it works. But the for some reason, BlackBerry has a patent on that. And
weird.
And you can't do it on any other, and they're not giving it up to people.
They're not giving it up.
Yeah.
They got a new. I don't want to digress into a BlackBerry discussion because I want to talk about what else is in your backpack.
Oh, well, I mean, my hiking kit is pretty comprehensive.
Yeah.
I carry a Phoenix LD15R right-angle flashlight clipped to my left strap.
There you go.
And that's a multiple brightness settings right-angle flashlight that I use a lot. And it has a magnetic tail cap, which is nice. It's rechargeable, USB rechargeable. Very bright. I think it goes up to about 400 or 500 lumens.
That's great.
And it's tiny too. And it's I love it. I think it's a great flashlight. They have a new one called the WT20R, which has a swiveling head that I'm thinking about getting.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you do with this stuff that is obsolete? What do you end up doing with that stuff? Do you end up donating it to Goodwill, or do you recycle it?
My sister has a very nice headset now that I...
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
you just pass it. You just
pass it on.
Pass it on, or do you ever do eBay or any of that?
You know,
I used to. I think
I used to do a little bit of that with anything that was worth a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Not so much eBay as Craigslist.
Okay.
For phones, especially, Craigslist is decent, and you meet somewhere, cash on the barrelhead,
and then it's over.
I don't like to sell things to people that I know.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
no, because then you're doing maintenance.
I give things to people that I know, or I sell things to people that I don't know.
Done and done.
Yeah.
So you've got the water bottle, you've got a flashlight.
Yeah. I carry a small first aid kit that I put together, Band-Aids and some electrolytes and stuff like that if I need it. And I've found that it's I see people on the trail all the time that need a Band-Aid, so I can hand them a Band-Aid.
Oh, that's great.
And
because you're a social animal as well. Because you're like, look at you.
I like to help. I'm a helper.
You are a helper. You got Mrs. Kravitz genes as well. I as well have punched in.
Yeah.
So we have punched in, my friend. Anyway.
And then what else do I carry? Gum and mints. Cough drops I like a lot. A tissue in one pocket.
Oh, there you go.
I have a little...
Not a hanky, like an old-timey guy?
No, I don't
you
like
go tissues.
I don't want to make anybody wash my hanky.
Yeah, seems fair enough.
Because that is one of the other great luxuries I give myself is fluff and fold. I don't do my own laundry.
Oh, that is something that I have done in New York City because it's super cheap. I've never done it here.
Here, I go to the Hollywood Laundry on Sunset. It's $1.25 a pound plus tip.
Oh, that's not bad.
And it gives me 4 or 5 hours back every 2 weeks.
Well, and here's my thing. I kind of like doing laundry.
Yeah.
So it's in New York, it's always a pain in the ass. But we have, a washer dryer on site.
Yeah.
So we just do that. But
there is, I think, one in my building, but it's, it costs money. And if you factor in the differential cost, it's not that much more.
Right. No, I think you're onto something. So you've got tissues and a kit.
I have a little song I sing to myself when I leave the house.
What? What is it?
Food, water, drugs, wallet, phone, keys, hat, headset, glasses, watch, cigarettes, attitude.
Uh-oh. What's up with the cigarettes?
I smoke a little bit.
Jesus Christ, this is a huge reveal, you guys. Here we are at 47 minutes. We find out Andrew Solmssen is doing some cigarette smoking. Are you vaping?
No.
What do you?
No,
You're doing
I smoke an American Spirit menthol because I'm a teenager in part.
My brother Scott is still. He said he was going to stop smoking, but he's always been a menthol guy.
I
It's
smoke
so
2
weird.
cigarettes a day.
Interesting.
I
What's
smoke
that all
one on the
about?
way to the hill and one on the way down.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you're an adult man. You get to. They're legal.
Yeah.
You get to do whatever you want.
I should stop. It's not good, but and
You
now
could
that
smoke half a cigarette on the way up, save it. You could buy a tiny box where you could put it, and that'll be a nice toy for you. And then on the way down, you could smoke the other half.
the American Spirits are almost like 2 cigarettes because they're very firmly packed. So
And they're like $15 a pack, aren't they?
about 10.
That's a lot of money for.
But I smoke a pack a week.
Right. No, I'm saying they've gone up a lot.
Yeah, well, cigarettes, it's a sin tax. People don't mind sin taxes. So
No, I don't. There's very few things I stand
even though
in
that
tax.
they're relatively regressive taxes in the sense that they're consumption taxes.
Yeah, they. I don't want to digress into taxation either. But so you got a couple of cigarettes.
Yeah.
That's on the end of your song.
Yeah.
What's the last 3?
What
it
did I
again?
say? Watch, cigarettes, attitude.
Okay.
That was because I was ending it at cigarettes, and my sister got mad at me for letting it be 11 instead of 12. The rhythm was wrong.
Wow. All right.
So attitude for me means I got a tissue in one pocket and some
You know that
cough
I've
drops
never
in
met
the
your
other.
sister.
You must have met my sister.
I don't think I've met your sister.
She's one of the greatest people in the world.
Well, you just have each other. You
Yeah.
just the 2 siblings.
Yeah.
You got to be friends.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that she's like, oh, I'm going to need one more word.
She lives in
And,
New York and is an outstanding human being.
There you go. Good to know. I am, by the way, speaking with Andrew Solmssen.
Yeah.
Now, so that's all that's in it? And,
So left pocket is a couple of little things: cough drops, mints and gum, cigarettes, a tissue. Right pocket is phone, wallet, keys, and headsets.
Right.
And in the water bag in the main packet, and then usually a clean T-shirt because I get soaking.
right.
On the way up.
Change of clothes.
Yeah, and then the water and food.
You don't bring extra socks just in case, or just an extra shirt?
Just an extra shirt usually.
Yep.
But it's sort of annoying because as the temperature goes up, I can carry less clothing, but I have to carry more water.
So, there you go. Yeah.
So in the winter,
how much water fits it?
I carry between 2 and 3 liters of water in the summertime, depending on how long I'm going to be out, and I carry about a liter and a half in the wintertime.
Okay.
And but then I also have to carry rain gear or a jacket and some, because
like a windbreaker or something.
The temperature can go down 20 to 30 degrees during my hike. So,
Right.
and it gets very windy at the top sometimes. So I like.
And so is your windbreaker lined? Or
No,
is it...
I do layers.
Okay.
So I carry like a long sleeve T-shirt and then a nice Marmot
some
windbreaker.
tights. Just something to...
I'm wearing stockings most of the time.
Right, those
so,
compression stockings,
Right.
and then 2 pairs of socks.
and long or short pants. So
So that's usually, the bottom is usually not a problem.
yeah.
It's usually just the top.
Yeah, and then sunglasses. I have the nice thing about the tactical pack is that you can kind of configure it the way you want. So I bought the tactical packs. One of the things that makes them that is what they call MOLLE, which stands for something MOLLE.
Okay.
And it's a military thing, but it basically is a uniform system of straps and webbing.
Okay.
That let you attach and detach customizable, little packages to each side of the pack or to the back of it. And so I have attached to each side pocket a pocket that is designed for a cell phone. So I can, so it's like my phone is on my right hip, I can just reach back and grab it real quick. It's really handy.
So it's easy.
Yeah. It's one of the reasons I haven't switched to something like an Osprey or REI backpack or something like that, is because it's so handy to have everything so close, and the side pockets on the real hiking backpacks that they sell at like REI are not big enough.
So if you're hiking, now I want a new question here. You're hiking like 4 or 5 hours a day. So what is the average? And because I know one day you hike some insane, morning to night, 17-mile banana, like it was like that.
Well, I mean, the longest I've hiked in one day, I think, is to prove that I could do it, I did 26 miles.
Okay.
And I think it worked out to be closer to 27. But every now and again, I do what I call going long.
Yeah.
And I just go long. I start earlier and
stay out later?
And stay out a little later. Like one day I walked from West Hollywood to South Pasadena.
Okay. That is a long...
It was about 15 miles.
Yeah.
And that, it's nice. One of the ways that I do this long walking is by integrating it into my life. And so I came here the other day for your lovely barbecue.
Right.
And I walked home.
Okay.
And
so how did you get here, though? Did you take a lift?
My girlfriend drove me.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And then she left you.
Yeah, she left to go home.
Right. And then you were like, I'm just going to walk home.
I just walked
Did you
home.
make it all the way home?
I did.
Because sometimes you've said that you've taken a lift if it just, you're like, I'm bored now.
Yeah. I walked home from Burbank Airport the other day.
Okay.
So again, Burbank Airport to West Hollywood was about 10 miles.
Yeah. Have you ever walked to the ocean and then up and down it?
No, I haven't done that.
That.
That's an interesting idea. I rode a bike to the beach once.
Yeah.
But I like the hills, and from my house to the ocean is all pretty much downhill.
Yeah.
So we're like flat and reasonably flat. I do the sort of my classic sort of going long hike. Is I go out of my door and walk up the East Trail through Runyon to Mulholland. And then I walk down from Mulholland to Cahuenga.
Okay.
And then I go over the 101 on Barham to Lake Hollywood. And then I go up Lake Hollywood to Burbank Peak, essentially where the Wisdom Tree is.
Okay.
So I go up the south side of Burbank Peak and then walk along that ridge line where the Hollywood sign is.
Right.
Burbank Peak, Cahuenga Peak, and then Mount Lee, which is where the Hollywood sign is. Named for a Cadillac dealer who was the first person to put an antenna on that hill so he could broadcast his Cadillac advertisements.
What is it called?
It's called Mount Lee. That's the hill where the Hollywood sign is.
Okay.
Yeah. Funnily enough, the Hollywood sign is not on Mount Hollywood, which is a little further east.
Oh, that is weird.
Behind Griffith Observatory. So what I'll do is I'll walk to where the Hollywood sign is.
Right.
And then I'll walk down the Fire Road, the Mount Lee Fire Road, and come out I'll either continue down the Fire Road and come out on Deronda and walk down Beechwood Canyon to Hollywood and walk home.
Yeah.
That's a 15.3 mile loop. Or if I keep going, there's a way across Griffith Park that takes me to Mount Hollywood and behind the observatory, and then I can come down Vermont, and that's 18 miles.
Wow, that is so many miles.
It's a long walk, but I love it.
Yeah. Which is great. And it's... we're getting close. Mm-hmm. So what would you recommend if people want to start walking? You love that I love that 10-minute thing.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on where you're at. But for me, going sort of from the couch to being a regular walker,
right?
The first and most important thing is make it the most important thing in your life every day. And for me, that was necessary.
Right.
It may not be for you, but for me, it was necessary to say, this is the thing that I am going to do every day.
I'm gonna take a half an hour and do this.
Yeah. And the playlists was a nice way for me to sort of get myself out the door and just know that I had a fixed amount of time to deal with it. And,
right.
And I just, every year or so, I sit myself down and I say, this is how it's going to be.
Right.
This is the work you've got to do. This is, to borrow a phrase from Spoon, the rent I pay.
Is that a band?
Yeah.
Okay. Music is his life, you guys. And
Well, I listen to a lot of music. The playlists really help. I listen to a lot of podcasts.
do you listen to old music or new music or all of it?
I have different playlists.
You have eclectic taste.
I have eclectic tastes. I have a playlist called Climb that's available on my Spotify. That's all
there
the
you go.
stuff that I make that makes me want to go further faster.
Sweet.
And
What's your Spotify? Is it Solmssen?
yeah, just Solmssen.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there's a few, great songs on there that I really love, and
They keep you walking.
they keep me walking. And then I listen to music on the way up and podcasts on the way down generally. And,
Okay.
I listen to The Daily and to the Jackie and Laurie Show and the Dork Forest.
Have you listened to the new Martha Kelly, Michelle Balloon podcast?
I listened to a little bit of that, and I enjoy it very much, as I enjoy both of them very much.
Right.
And
I've actually listened to 3 episodes of Disagree to Agree, is what it's called.
yeah.
Disagree to Agree. And it is hilarious.
They're
It is-
great. Martha is one of the great human beings on the planet.
They're just, it's so funny. I texted them to ask them which one was Lori and which one was me. And we've decided to not have that conversation. They're not wrong. They're completely correct.
I'm a big fan of a podcast called The Bugle. Which
that's
is
John
Andy Zaltzman. It used to be
Oliver?
John Oliver and Andy Zaltzman, but John
Right.
got busy. And
Right.
so Andy does it with a rotating crew of guest hosts.
Oh, cool.
And it's, dry British satire of politics.
Okay.
And, the current guest hosts that I like a lot are Alice Fraser. She's a very funny comedian.
From
Australia.
UK? Okay.
Oh,
Australia.
yeah,
okay.
yeah. She performs in the UK quite a bit. I'm sure she's at Edinburgh right now. But,
Right.
She's very funny. I like her a lot. And then he has on Nish Kumar quite a bit, and Hari Kondabolu.
Oh, that's cool. So you could phone him in?
Yeah.
Or is Hari over there?
No, I think they do like a transatlantic one.
Oh,
quite
nice.
A bit. Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah. Andy's very funny and knows more about cricket than any human on the planet.
I don't know. Will Anderson did an amazing Dork Forest about cricket.
You put the two of them in a room. I think you'd get a lot of cricket.
There'd be a lot of crickets from me going, talk to me some more about what's going on.
The thing about cricket for me was one day I was listening to a local public radio station, and it was after midnight, so they're playing the BBC, and they did about 5 minutes of cricket results.
Okay.
And it was fascinating because they used words I'd never heard before.
Okay.
And they used words I knew, but in a completely alien context.
Right.
And it was very educational for me because I think it gave me some idea of what it's like for people when I talk about computers.
Right. There is definitely perspective and having, for sure. Andrew Solmssen, thank you so much for doing the Dork Forest. It has been an hour.
A pleasure. It has been an hour.
It has been an hour.
And it really feels like nothing.
Exactly. It goes by so fast because you're talking about something you love.
I do.
Rangers, you know the rules out there. Take care of each other.
My hat, my hat, my hat. They're dancing around my hat. My hat, my hat, my hat. Well, what do you think of that? If it looks like a Mexican hat dance and it sounds like a Mexican hat dance, it's most likely a Mexican hat dance. So take off your hat and let's dance.
Yay! Oh my God. Why don't we just call that as the end of the show?